He was enormous. In her autobiography, Sandra Lockach shares everything. Debbie Smith Sandre was born in Shelbyville, Tennessee, on May 28, 1944. She goes by Sandra Louise Smith. Locke was raised in a modest southern home. From an early age, she possessed an innate talent for creativity and performance. Despite having a difficult upbringing in Tennessee, she developed a strong sense of independence and tenacity that would serve her well in both her professional and personal battles in Hollywood. Locke's choice to work in film was both dangerous and ultimately fatal. After a countrywide search, she was cast as Mick Kelly in the 1967 film adaptation of The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, written by Carson McCullers. She became instantly famous as a result of this role, and she received nominations for both the Academy Award and the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress. Her portrayal, according to critics, was emotive and realistic, capturing the depth and sensitivity of a little girl yearning for acceptance and love. Locke, who was only 23, was certain to have a lengthy and prosperous film career. In the 1970s and 1980s, Locke gained notoriety for her acting prowess, as well as her personal and professional connection to actress and filmmaker Clint Eastwood. They got to know one another while working on The Outlaw Josie Wales in 1975. They dated for over a decade after falling in love quickly. During this period, Locke appeared in several Eastwood films, including Sudden Impact, 1983, Any Which Way You Can, 1980, The Gauntlet, 1977, and Every Which Way But Loose, 1978. Playing a variety of roles, from strong-willed heroes to vulnerable ladies in odd circumstances, allowed her to demonstrate her versatility. Locke's performances provided each character depth and dimension, making her a memorable presence on screen, despite some reviewers believing that her connection with Eastwood diminished her identity as an actor. However, Locke's life behind the camera was far more nuanced than her glitzy Hollywood persona suggested. Their relationship was extremely difficult, despite the length of time she spent with Eastwood. Locke had numerous issues in both his personal and professional life when they split up in the late 1980s. She discussed how she handled personal issues and career disappointments in her autobiography, The Good, the Bad, and the Very Ugly, 1997. This painted a vivid picture of the issues facing women in Hollywood at the time. Notwithstanding the challenges, Locke showed great bravery by standing up for herself and bringing legal action that raised awareness of gender discrimination, abuses of power, and the difficulties faced by women in a male-dominated sector. Locke demonstrated that her abilities extended well beyond the screen by attempting to pursue careers as a director, in addition to acting. She directed films such as Teresa Russell's murder drama Impulse, 1990, and Rat Boy, 1986, which received positive reviews for being unique. Despite being brief, Locke's work as a filmmaker was significant. She was among the few female Hollywood backstage workers at the time. She made it possible for other women to come after her. Her work demonstrated her resolve to challenge the conventions of mainstream cinema and explore stories from her own perspective. Throughout his life, Locke also experienced health issues. She battled breast cancer in the 1990s, but the illness later returned. But she was not defeated by these issues. Her strong determination, intelligence, and ability to speak clearly characterized her latter years. Those who knew her well described her as humorous, profoundly reflective, and unafraid to express her opinions. People respected and admired her because of all these qualities. On September 25, 1967, Sondra Locke wed sculptor Gordon Lee Anderson at the renowned First Presbyterian Church in Nashville, Tennessee. The church, which is renowned for its exquisite architecture and welcoming ambiance, gave their wedding a timeless, refined vibe. Dr. Walter Rowe Courtney presided over the service, which had a solemn, dignified feel to it that highlighted the couple's marriage's importance and gravity. Notably, Locke's wedding took place a week after she began shooting The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, her major breakthrough film. When she reached significant personal and professional achievements, It was an incredible moment in her life. Locke and Anderson's marriage would endure for over 50 years, with an incredible 51 years remaining until Anderson's passing in 2018. Their steadfast devotion demonstrated their mutual respect and emotional closeness in a field where marriages typically survive a long time. In contrast, Locke and Anderson had been together for a long period before to their marriage. At least since the late 1950s, she had known him. They reportedly developed a close friendship before beginning a romantic relationship over a number of years. Their first meeting dates vary from one source to another, sometimes by as much as 4 years. This demonstrates how Locke was surrounded by helpful and imaginative people early in life who would influence her course. Thanks to her role in The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, she gained more recognition and received more story offers. In 1968, Locke and Anderson made the crucial decision to leave Tennessee. In pursuit of employment prospects and a new beginning, in their personal life, they relocated to a chic condo at the Andalusia in West Hollywood, a neighborhood that is well known for drawing actors, artists, and other creative types. This decision placed Locke in the center of the entertainment industry and provided the pair with a contemporary urban lifestyle, where Anderson could continue to pursue her artistic career, while Locke concentrated on her developing film career. Combination of their professional ambitions and personal intimacy allowed them to develop as artists and maintain their closeness as partners in their lives together in West Hollywood. Both on the big screen and in Sandra Locke's personal life, renowned actor and director Clint Eastwood was significant. Eastwood is well known for his somber demeanor and memorable roles in action and Western films. Locke gives readers a detailed look at her decades-long connection with Eastwood in her memoirs, revealing both love and suffering. Her words, punctuated honestly, are a testament and a revelation, allowing readers to enter the secret realm that lies beneath Hollywood's glamorous facade. An atmosphere of wonder and grandeur is immediately established by Locke's description of Eastwood. She describes him as huge, which goes beyond simply describing his height. In her story, Locke elaborates on how Eastwood's demeanor was just as terrifying and powerful as his physique. She recalls being both excited and afraid when she first sat across from him in their relationship. He drew people in and made them pay attention, she adds, because he had an energy that few could resist. She acknowledges that his height and gait weren't the only factors. That was not all there was to it. The air surrounding him appeared to be bent by the power. You knew he was in command, even if you weren't, quote, readers may vividly imagine what it was like to be close to someone whose influence seemed to transcend ordinary boundaries, thanks to Locke's observations. However, her biography goes beyond simply praising Eastwood's character. Locke also discusses his more intimate human aspects, providing readers with a unique glimpse into his personal life, which was frequently distinct from the public perception of him. The compassion, vulnerability, and even amusement she describes contrasted sharply with his gruff, serious exterior, which was portrayed in films like Dirty Harry and The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. Locke recalls that he was surprisingly kind at times. It seemed as though only his closest friends and family were aware of this hidden aspect of him. However, those times were short-lived. Like rays of sunshine through a storm, they were stunning. According to Locke, Eastwood's combination of strength and fragility made him both fascinating and annoying, which resulted in both love and arguments over their lengthy relationship. Locke's memoirs also discusses the challenges and hardships of dating a man like Eastwood. She openly discusses how their relationship was harmed by his notoriety, ego, and hectic schedule. Being with Clint was like holding lightning in your hands. In her words, there was speed, brilliance, and danger all at the same time. You had no idea when something would make you feel better or worse. Locke captures the pleasures and challenges of being near someone whose life was always being observed. In these ideas, she paints a picture that is passionate, complex, and horribly honest as she discusses the highs and lows of her affections, the miscommunications, and the moments when they truly clicked. In her autobiography, Locke has a remarkable capacity to examine her own ideas and behavior, painting a nuanced portrait of a relationship that was everything from straightforward. Because she is aware of her role in the matter, she considers both herself and Eastwood simultaneously. According to her, I was drawn to him, but I also knew I was going into a world where I might be overshadowed and where my own voice might be lost. This transparency creates a picture of a relationship that was both powerful and challenging, assisting readers in understanding the mental and emotional levels involved. Sondra Locke's book illustrates the joys and challenges of being with Clint Eastwood, who is enormous both literally and symbolically. Her writing gives readers an honest insight at what actually transpired behind the Hollywood legend by capturing the beauty, power, charm, and turmoil in their relationship. By using expressions like "he was massive," Locke exposes Eastwood's size as well as the extent to which he impacted her life. For years to come, she would undergo emotional, professional, and personal transformation. Her book is an honest, courageous, and unforgettable look at fame, love, and what it's like to live with one of the biggest movie stars ever. On November 3rd, 2018, Sandre Lockach, 74, passed away at her Los Angeles, California home. She had spent the majority of her adult life there, pursuing both personal and professional endeavors. Doctors indicated that the heart arrest she suffered was related to complications from breast and bone cancer, which she had been fighting in secret for some time. Locke's death signaled the end of an incredible life that had been greatly acclaimed and closely observed, particularly because to her well-known Hollywood career and her very visible relationship and health issues. On November 9th, 2018, Locke passed away, and her remains were cremated at the Pierce Brothers Westwood Village Memorial Park and Mortuary in Los Angeles. Numerous Hollywood icons are interred here, and the location has a lengthy history of supporting the entertainment sector. Locke wanted her funeral to be intimate and private, so she decided for cremation. Even though she was well known, this was consistent with her lifelong valuing of privacy. Gordon Lee Anderson, her devoted husband of more than 50 years, received her cremated remains. Even though she had experienced difficult times in the past, this act demonstrated the depth and stability of Locke and Anderson's love. In addition to giving Anderson her body, Locke left him an estimated $20 million in income. This demonstrated her money as well as her love and support for the man she was in love with. Locke appeared to be Anderson's rock during their marriage, providing her with both financial and emotional support. This demonstrated her loyalty, compassion, and practicality in ensuring the welfare of her closest relatives. Her ability to amass such a substantial wealth demonstrated both the quality of her acting and directing careers and her adeptness at managing her finances over the years. She appeared committed to caring for Anderson in a way that honored their more than half-century-long relationship, even as she became older. This revealed Locke's very private, responsible, and loyal side to her loved ones. In the end, Sandre Locke's passing, cremation, and bequest not only signal the end of her life, but also demonstrate her concern for others, respect for their privacy, and loyalty to her loved ones. Locke, quote, generosity and kindness, even in her final decisions, had a profound effect on her friends, family, and the people who had loved her work for decades. Locke's life was filled with difficult relationships, emotional struggles, and artistic accomplishment.